Now, as far as you mentioned earlier, might not film, if something's written out wrong, it might not be seen. But as far as an AD's standpoint, when time is of the essence, and you need to cut a scene, how do you determine what scenes to cut out, and how do you deal with the like let's say a writer director at that point?
Usually, if you've been doing it a while, I've been doing it a
Mhm.
while, you kind of know going in where the problems are. You can go, look, this day is problematic. I'm restricted in actor time, I'm restricted in car time, whatever. The sun's gonna set. You could be shooting a movie that's all day exterior in the middle of January in Los Angeles, and we have the shortest days of the year. So the sun goes down at like 5 o'clock. And if the sun doesn't rise until 7, that means you've only got a very short day. You've got 10 hours of potential work maybe. By the time the company comes up and goes down, and then it's really not shootable until 8, and the sun's kind of dead at 4:40, not a long day. Now take out an hour of lunch. So there are situations like that where you'll know going in. And what I try to do is work with the writers and work with the producers to anticipate and say, here's where I see problems, be aware. When we get to a place at lunch, I'll go, okay guys, here's where we are, we're behind. This is where we need to start taking a look at. Let's effectively start to anticipate. I'm not trying to wave the panic flag, but I'm looking at you. And throughout the day, I specifically will look across at my producers and go, we're taking too much time. And they'll know, I don't want to be a screamer, I don't want to go, guys, it doesn't do anybody any good, it don't get you thinking correctly. I need you as writers focused. And so when I say, hey, I've got a problem, I need you looking at the script.
Right.
And then I'll bring the script supervisor in and say, because you guys may go, oh, well, we'll just do this and this. And she goes, well, yeah, but from a continuity standpoint, you can't. So we want to make sure that whatever we do come up with as a solution actually doesn't cause a new problem.
Right.
That you can't fix.
Do you consider story at all?
Absolutely.
Okay, so would you say understanding the story is a big part of being a first AD?
Absolutely. You can go out there and just dial what's called dial it in and just look. I scheduled it. It's fine. Whatever you want to do, sit back in your chair, look at your schedule, check your email. But I don't think you're doing your job to its fullest ability. I think you need to know why things are happening. You need to know because, God forbid, he walks out of that room and he's got a towel on his right shoulder. Script supervisor's job to know that, actor's job to remember that, props to remember that, costumes. But he walks out of there, now we're in another scene shot on another day, and he walks in, and he doesn't have a towel on his shoulder. Now, they may say, oh, we all screwed up, we don't have a towel, it doesn't exist, it's the wrong color. And I go, well, look, story-wise, are you okay with the idea that when he walked out of there, he set the towel down somewhere, and he's okay coming in without the towel on his shoulder? And they go, yeah, you know what, we're okay. Or is it important, do I need to send somebody to the store to buy a new towel before we get to the scene? Do we want to wait? And we prioritize. So I approach everybody with an understanding that, look, the audience is relatively forgiving about what's going on, but they will notice screw-ups. So you've got to consider all these things. You've got to put it in play. I consider story when I'm time of the year. We're shooting in January, but the scene takes place in the summer, so now everybody's in bikinis and bathing suits. Well, that means that I'm going to have a lot of pale actors show up. So do we need to code all the extras that are at the beach in fake tans? So these things you have to take into account. Otherwise, you're going to go and go, well, look, we have all the extras you asked for. They're pale as crap. What the hell is that? They look. It doesn't make any sense. We're not in Ireland. Stop this. We're in the Bahamas. This wants to be people on vacation. So you have to take all that. You have to take everything into account.